Hello, this is Jim Michaels with the Hickory Heights Church of Christ in Lewisburg, Tennessee. I'd like to share with you just a brief message from the Bible today. Do you realize that man is not born a sinner? You know, the religious world in general, many within that religious world teach that we're born in sin, and that you and I, that we inherit the sin of Adam. Well, certainly we suffer the consequences of the choices that Adam made in committing sin, but we don't bear the guilt of Adam's sin. Now, let's look at some Bible passages to prove that that is indeed the case. I want you to notice something that Ezekiel said to the king of Tyre in Ezekiel 28 in verses 15. Notice very carefully what he says. He said, "You were perfect in your ways from the day you were created, till iniquity was found in you." Now notice that. You were perfect in your ways from the day you were created. Was he perfect or not? And obviously he wasn't a sinner, born a sinner. In the book of Ecclesiastes, the wise man Solomon said this in 7 verse 29. He said, "Truly this only I have found, that God made man upright, but they have sought out many schemes." That man was made upright. Was it just Adam in the beginning that was made upright? Or was all men made upright? You know, as I said, to the king of Tyre, Ezekiel said, "You were perfect in your ways." And the wise man Solomon says, "I have found that God made you upright." And man was indeed upright. He was without sin. Now then, think of the Bible definition of sin, just a simple definition of sin. What is sin? Well, it's a transgression of the law. Now, when a baby is born into the world, what sin are they guilty of? What command did they transgress? They didn't transgress any command. And so man is not born a sinner. They are born upright. And it's when they commit an act of sin by violating God's law, doing what is expressly forbidden, or not doing what he tells us to do, that we're guilty of sin. Now, as I said, there's a lot of consequences that we suffer as a result of Adam's sin, but we do not bear the guilt of his sin. Now, one other passage in Ezekiel, look at. In Ezekiel 18 in verses 20, he says, "The soul who sins shall die. The Son shall not bear the guilt of the Father, nor the Father bear the guilt of the Son. The righteousness of the righteous shall be upon himself, and the wickedness of the wicked shall be upon himself." So we do not bear the guilt of our ancestor Adam. We're born pure and holy. Notice one of the verse. Jesus said, "Assuredly I say to you, unless you are converted and become as little children, you will by no means enter the kingdom of heaven." Now, unless they're converted and become as little children. Now, if little children were born in sin, they wouldn't have to be converted and become like little children. They would already be like them. They would be sinners. But no, they have to be converted and become like little children, pure and just and holy. Well, thank you for listening. Hope the lesson has been of some benefit to you.